Okay. Okay, we're back. We're back. Is the connection healthy? Is it gonna stay healthy? Oh, this is gonna be split into two parts. That sucks. Man, it couldn't even be at the chapter cut. That'd have been convenient. Don't know what was up with that. Alright, I seem to be stable now. Alright, back to it. The Viraja Lee now gave the order for the celestial soldiers to pitch their tents, and a cordon was drawn so tightly around Flower Fruit Mountain that not even water could escape. Moreover, 18 sets of cosmic nets were spread out and above and below the region. The 9 luminaries were then ordered to go into battle. They led their troops in advance to the cave, in front of which they found a troop of monkeys, both great and small, prancing around playfully. "Little monsters, over there!" cried one of the star spirits in a severe voice. "Where's your great sage? We are the heavenly deities sent here from the region above to subdue your rebellious great sage. Tell him to come here quickly and surrender. If he but utters half a no, all of you will be executed." Hastily, the little monsters reported inside. "Great sage! Disaster! Disaster outside! There are 9 savage deities who claim they're from the region above to subdue the great sage." To which the Monkey King said, "Man, this sounds like it's really fucking familiar." Our great sage was just sharing the heavenly wine with 4 mighty commanders and the monster kings of 72 caves. Hearing this announcement, he said in a most nonchalant manner, "If you have wine today, get drunk today. Mind not the trouble in front of your door." Scarcely had he uttered this proverb when another group of imps came leaping and said, "There, those 9 savage gods are trying to provoke battle with foul words and nasty language." "Don't listen to them," said the great sage, laughing. "Let us seek today's pleasure in poetry and wine. Seek asking when we may achieve glory or fame." Hardly had he finished speaking when still another flock of imps arrived to report, "Father, those 9 savage gods have broken down the door and are about to fight their way in." "Not my door!" "Those reckless, witless gods," said the great sage angrily. "They really have no manners. I'm not about to quarrel with them. Or are they abusing me to my face?" He gave the order for the one-horned demon king to lead the monster kings of 72 caves in the battle, adding that the old monkey and 4 mighty commanders might follow in the rear. The demon king swiftly led his troops of ogres to go out to fight. They were ambushed by the 9 luminaries and pinned down right at the head of the sheet iron bridge. At the height of the melee, the great sage arrived. "Make way!" he yelled, whipping out his iron rod. One wave of it, and it was thick as a rice ball, and about 12 feet long. The great sage plunged into battle, and none of the 9 luminaries dared oppose him. In a moment they were all beaten back. When they regrouped themselves again in battle formation, the 9 luminaries stood still and said, "You sibless banhor plague! You're guilty of the 10 evils! You first stole peaches, then wine, utterly disrupting the grand festival of immortal peaches. You have robbed Lazari of his immortal elixir, and then you had the gall to plunder the imperial winery for your personal enjoyment. Don't you realize that you have piled up sin upon sin?" Indeed, said the great sage, those several incidents did occur. What do you intend to do now? 9 luminaries said, "We received the golden decree of the Jade Emperor to lead our troops here to subdue you. Submit at once, and spare these creatures from being slaughtered. If not, we shall level this mountain and overturn this cave." "How great your magical power is your magical power, silly gods?" retorted the great sage angrily. "That you dare to mouth so foolhardy words! Don't go away. Have a taste of old monkey's rod!" The 9 luminaries mounted a joint attack, but the handsome Monkey King was not in the least intimidated. He wielded his golden hooped rod, parrying left and right, and fought the 9 luminaries until they were thoroughly exhausted. Every one of them turned round and fled, his weapons trailing behind him. Running to the tent at the center of their army, they said to the pagoda bearer Devaraja, "The Monkey King is indeed an intrepid warrior. We cannot withstand him, and have returned defeated." Maybe don't just send 9 guys. Like this legit might be something you have to pull a whole ass army out of your ass to do. If you keep going at them one at a time, you're just gonna keep with this same result, my dude. Devaraja Lee then ordered the 4 great Devarajas and the 28 constellations to go out together to do battle. Without displaying the slightest panic, the great sage also ordered the one-horned demon king, the monster kings of 72 caves, and the 4 mighty commanders to range themselves in battle formation in front of the cave. Look at this all-out battle. It was truly terrified with the cold, soaring wind, the dark, dreadful fog. On one side the colourful banners fluttered, on the other lances and halberds glimmered. There were rows upon rows of shining helmets, and coat upon coat of gleaming armour. Row upon row of helmets shining in the sunlight, resembling silver bells whose chimes echoed in the sky. Coat upon coat of gleaming armour rising cliff-like in layers, seeming like the glacier crushing the earth. Sorry. The giant scimitars flew and flashed like lightning. The mulberry white spears could pierce even mist and cloud. The cross-like halberds and tiger-like lashes were arranged like thick rows of hemp. The green swords of bronze and 4-sided shovels crowded together like trees in a dense forest. Curved bows, crossbows, and stout arrows with eagle plumage. Short staves and snake-like lances, all could kill or maim. The complement rod with the great sage owned kept tossing and turning in this battle with gods. They fought till the air was rid of birds flying by. Wolves and tigers were driven from within the mount. The planet was darkened by hurtling rocks and stones. The cosmos was bedimmed by flying dust and dirt. The clamor and clangor disturbed heaven and earth. The scrape and scuffle alarmed both demons and gods. Beginning with battle formations at dawn, they fought until the sun sank down behind the western hills. The one-horned demon king and the monster kings of 72 caves were all taken captive by the forces of heaven. Those who escaped were the 4 mighty commanders, the troop of monkeys who hid themselves deep inside the water-curtained cave. With his single rod, the great sage withstood in mid-air the 4 great Devarajas, Li, the pagoda bearer, and Prince Nata, and battled with them for a long time. He saw that evening was approaching. The great sage plucked a handful of hair, threw them in his mouth, and chewed them to pieces. He spat them out, crying, "Change!" They changed at once into many thousands of great sages, each deployed a golden hooped rod. They beat back Prince Nata, defeated the 5 Devarajas. In triumph, the great sage collected back his hairs, hurried back to his cave. Soon at the head of the sheet-iron bridge, he was met by the 4 mighty commanders leading the rest of the monkeys. As they kowtowed to receive him, they cried 3 times, sobbing aloud. And they laughed 3 times, he, and ho-hoing. The great sage said, Why do you all laugh and cry when you see me?"
"When we fought with the Devil King this morning,"
said the four mighty commanders.
"the Monster King of 72 Caves and the One-Horned Demon King were all taken captive by the god. We were the only ones who managed to escape alive. That's why we cried. Now we see the great sage returned unharmed and triumphed, so we laugh as well."
"Victory and defeat," said the great sage, "are common experiences of a soldier. The ancient proverb says, 'You may kill 10,000 of your enemies, but you'll lose 3,000 of your allies.'" Moreover, the chieftains who had been captured are tigers and leopards, wolves and insects, badgers and foxes, and the like. Not a single member of our own kind. Oh wait, no, this is still him talking. Moreover, the chieftains who have been captured are the tigers and leopards, wolves and insects, badgers and foxes, and the like. Not a single member of our own kind has been hurt. Why then should we be disconsolidated? Though all our adversaries have been beaten back by my magic of body division, they are still encamped at the foot of our mountain. Let us be most vigilant, therefore, in our defense. Have a good meal, rest well, and conserve your energy. When morning comes, watch me perform a great magic and capture some of these generals from heaven, so that our comrades may be avenged." The four mighty commanders drank a few bowls of coconut wine with the host and monkeys and went to sleep peacefully. We shall speak no more of them. When those four Devarajas retired their troops and stopped their fighting, each one of the heavenly commanders came to report his accomplishment. Those who had captured lions and elephants, those who had apprehended wolves, crawling creatures, and foxes. Not a single monkey monster, however, had been seized. The camp was then secured. A great tent was pitched, and the commanders, with meritorious services, were rewarded. The soldiers in charge of the cosmic nets were ordered to carry bells and given passwords, and then circled the flower fruit mountain to await the great battle the next day. Each soldier everywhere diligently kept his watch. So this is the situation. The fiendish monkey rides through heaven and earth, but the net spreads open ready day and night. We don't know what took place after the next morning. Let's listen to the explanation in the next chapter. Gunyuan, in attending the banquet, inquires into the cause the little sage, exerting his power, subdues the great sage. For the moment we shall not tell you about the siege of gods or the great sage at rest. We speak instead of the compassionate deliverer, the effectuous Mustafa Guninyan from the Potalakala mountain of the South Sea. Invited by the Lady Queen Mother to attend the grand festival of immortal peaches, she arrived at the treasure chamber of the Jasper Pool with her senior disciple, Huian. There they found the whole place desolate, and the banquet tables in utter disarray. Though several members of the heavenly pantheon were present, none were seated. Instead, they were all engaged in vigorous exchange and discussion. After the Bodhisattva had greeted the various deities, they told her what had occurred. Since there's no festival," said the Bodhisattva, "nor any rising of cups, all of you might as well come with this humble cleric to see the Jade Emperor." The gods followed her gladly, and they went to the entrance to the Hall of Perfect Light. Then there the Bodhisattva was met by the four celestial masters and the immortals of naked feet, who recounted how the celestial soldiers, ordered by the enraged Jade Emperor to capture the monster, had not yet returned. Bodhisattva said,
"I would like to have an audience with the Jade Emperor. May I trouble one of you to announce my arrival?"
The heavenly preceptor of Chi Hongji, he went at once to the treasure hall of divine mist. Having made his report, invited Ganyan to enter. Ozai then took the upper seat with the emperor, while the lady queen mother was in attendance beyond the throne. The Bodhisattva led the crowd inside. After paying homage to the Jade Emperor, they all saluted Ozai and the queen mother. With each of them seated, she asked,
"How is the grand festival of immortal peaches?"
"Every year, when the festival has been given," said the Jade Emperor, We have thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. This year has been completely ruined by a baneful monkey, leaving us with nothing but an invitation to disappointment. This could have also been somewhat mitigated. Maybe not avoided completely because of the whole Peaches thing, but mitigated as well if you invited him.
Where did this painful monkey come from?
Asked the Buddhistafa. It was born of a stone egg on top of the Flower Fruit Mountain in the Olai country of the East Paravarata, a continent. The Jade Emperor. At the moment of his birth, two beams of golden light flashed immediately from his eyes, reaching as far as the palace of Polestar. You not think much of that, but he later became a monster, subduing the dragon, taming the tiger as well, and eradicating his name from the register of death. When the Dragon Kings and Kings of the Underworld brought this matter to our attention, and we wanted to capture him, Star of Long Life, however, observed that all beings of the three regions had possessed the 9 apertures could attain immortality. We therefore decided to educate and nurture the talented monkey, summoned him to the region above. Bull fucking shit. You didn't teach him jack. Go fuck yourself, Jade Emperor. You didn't teach him jack. Don't lie to her. Sorry. That genuinely irked me a bit. We therefore decided to educate and nurture the talented monkey and summoned him to the region above. He was appointed the post of Wen as the imperial stables. Taking offense to the lowness of his position, he left heaven in rebellion. We then sent Devaraja Lee and Prithnata to ask him for submission by proclaiming a decree of pacification. Bull fucking shit! He is lying through his fucking teeth. They went there to beat the shit out of him and arrest him. That was not a decree of pacification. The decree of pacification was what Star Venus went down there with. You fucking lie to this woman. He was brought again to the region above, appointed Grand Sage Eagle to Heaven, a rank without compensation. Since he had nothing to do but wander east and west, he feared we might cause trouble, so he was asked to look over the Garden of Immortal Peaches. Sorry, I've completely broken the voice for him. Give me a moment. So he was asked to look over the Garden of Immortal Peaches, remove the lawn, and all the large peaches from the oldest trees. By then the banquet was about to be given. The person without a salary he was, of course, not invited. Nonetheless, he plotted to deceive the immortals of naked feet, managed to sneak into the banquet by assuming the immortal's appearance, finished all the divine wine and food, to which he also stole his elixir, took away a considerable quantity of imperial wine for the enjoyment of his mounted monkeys. Motherfucker just lied to her like 3 times. Also, there literally are several points in this that didn't need to happen if you just handled the situation better. You didn't need to give him work to do. You could have just let him hang out and have fun. That's what he was doing. He wasn't hurting anyone. But no. Couldn't just let sleeping lions lie. Or couldn't just let sleeping dogs lie. Sorry. That's the term. Our minds have been sorely vexed by this, and therefore we sent 100,000 celestial soldiers with cosmic necks to capture him. You have not yet received today's report on how the battle is faring. When the Bodhisattva heard this, said to her disciple Huinyan, "You must leave heaven at once. Go down to the Proud Mountain, quiet the military situation, and meet engaged. You can lend your assistance. In any event, you must bring back a factual report." The disciple Huinyan straightened out his attire and mounted the cloud to leave the palace, an iron rod on his back. When he arrived at the mountain, he found layers of cosmic net drawn tightly, and sentries at every gate holding bells and shouting passwords. What? Why are you shouting them? The encirclement of the mountains were indeed watertight. Huayan stood still and called out, "Heavenly sentinels, may I trouble you to announce my arrival? I am Prince Mokasa's second son of Devaraja
Li, and I am also Huinyan's senior disciple of Guanya and South Sea. I feel like I might have read that wrong. Oh yeah, and I am also Huinyan, senior disciple of Guanya and of South Sea. I have come to inquire about the military situation. Divine soldiers of the Five Mountains at once reported this beyond on the gate. Constellations Aquarius, Pecali's Hydra, and Scorpio then conveyed the message to the central tent. Devaraja Lee issued a directional flag, which ordered the cosmic nest to be opened and entrance permitted for the visitor. Day was just dawning in the east as Huanyan followed the flag inside, prostrated himself before the four great Devarajas and Devaraja Lee. After he had finished the greeting, Devaraja Lee said, My child, where have you come from? Your untutored son, said Huanyan, accompanied the Bodhisattva to attend the festival of immortal peaches. Seeing the festival was desolate, and Jasper Pool laid waste, the Bodhisattva led the various deities and your untutored son to have an audience with the Jade Emperor. Jade Emperor spoke at length about fathering the king's expedition to the region below to subdue the baneful monkey. Snow reports a return for a whole day, now that victory and defeat has been discerned. The Bodhisattva ordered your untutored son to come find how things stand. We came here yesterday to set up the encampment. The Devaraja Lee, the 9 luminaries were sent to provoke battle. This fellow made a grand display of his magical powers. The 9 luminaries all returned defeated. After that, I led the troops personally to confront him. The fellow brought his forces in formation. Our 100,000 celestial soldiers fought him until evening, when he retreated from battle by using magic body division. When we recalled the troops and made our investigation. Man, these guys are just always protecting their asses. Oh my god, I just realized that was an omission of truth. His clones kicked your ass, and you're making it seem like he just used them as a diversion to run away. No, they beat your face in. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Made our investigation, and we found that we had captured some wolves, crawling creatures, tigers, leopards, and the like, but we did not even catch half a monkey monster. Yeah, we have not yet gone to battle. As he was saying all this, someone from the gate of the camp to report. The great sage, leading his band of monkey monsters, shouting for battle outside. I don't know why I give every random reporter that voice. The 4 Devarajas, Devaraja Lee and the prince at once made plans to bring out the troops. The Makasa said, Father King, your untutored son was told by the Bodhisattva to come down here to inquire information. Also said to give your assistance should there be actual combat. Though I'm not very talented, I volunteer to go out now and see what kind of great sage this is. Child, said the Devaraja, since you have studied with the Bodhisattva for several years, you must, I suppose, have some power. But do be careful. Dear Prince, grasping the iron rod with both hands, tightened up his embroidered garment and leapt out the gate. Who is this great sage, equal to heaven? He cried, holding high his compliment rod. The great sage answered, None other than old monkey here. Who are you that you dare question me? I am Mukasa, second prince of Devaraja Lee, said Mukasa. At present, I am also disciple of Mustafa Guanyin, a defender of the faith before her treasure throne. My religious name is Huanyan. Why have you left your religious training at the South Sea and come to see me? Said the great sage. That should have been asked the great sage, but whatever. I was sent by my master to inquire about the military situation, said Makasa. Seeing what a nuisance you've made of yourself, I've come simply to capture you. You dare talk so big, said the great sage. But don't run away. Have a taste of old monkey's rod! Really? I'm just going to use the same punchline? Okay. Mukasa was not at all frightened, and met his opponent squarely with his own iron rod. 2 of them stood before the gate of the camp at the mid-mountain. A magnificent battle they fought.
Though one rod is pitted against another, the iron's quite different. Through this weapon couples with the other, the persons are not the same. The one called Great Sage, a wayward primordial god. The other Grenew's disciple, a true hero and proud. The all-iron rod had been pounded 1,000 times, made by 6 gods of darkness and 6 gods of light. The complement rod set the depths of heaven's river, a thing divine ruling in oceans with magical might. The two of them meeting have found their match. Back and forth they battled in endless rounds. From this one, the rod of stealthy hands, savage and fierce, around the waist stabs and jabs swiftly as the wind. From the other rod, doubling as a spear, driving and relentless, lets up not a moment in parrying left and right. On the sides, the banners flare and flutter. On the other, the war drums roll and rattle. 10,000 celestial fighters circle round and round. The monkey monsters of a whole cave stand in rows and rows. Weird fog and dark clouds spread throughout the earth. The fume and smoke of battle reach even heaven's home. Yesterday's battle was something to behold. Still more violent is the contest today. Envy the truly able Monkey King. Mukasa's beaten. He's fleeing for life. Our great sage battled on for 50 or 60 rounds, until the prince's arms and shoulders went sore and numb. Could fight no longer. One final, futile swing of his weapon, he fled in defeat. The great sage then gathered together his monkey troops and stationed them securely outside the entrance of the cave, the camp. At the camp of the Devaraja. Man, this guy needs to figure out what a paragraph is. Or maybe not like this guy, the translator does. After the Devaraja, the celestial soldiers could be seen receiving the prince and marking way for him to enter the gate. Panting and puffing he ran in, gasping out to the 4 Devarajas, Pagoda Lee and Nata. That great sage, what an ace! Great indeed is his magical power. Your son cannot overcome him. Return defeated. Shocked by the sight, Devaraja Lee at once wrote a memorial to the throne to request further assistance. The Demon King Mahahabi and Prince Makosa was sent to the heaven to present the document. Not daring to linger, the two of them crashed out of the cosmic nets and mounted the holy mist and hallowed cloud. In a moment they reached the hall of perfect light and met the 4 celestial masters, who led them into the treasure hall of divine mist to present your memorial. Huanyan also saluted the Bodhisattva, who asked him, "What have you found about the situation?" "When I reached the flower fruit mountain by your order," said Huanyan, "I opened the cosmic nets by my call. Seeing my father, I told him of my master's intentions in sending me. Their king said, we fought a battle yesterday with the Monkey King, who managed to take from him only tigers, leopards, lion, elephants, and the like. We did not capture a single one of his monkey monsters. We were talking again. He demanded battle. Your disciple used the iron rod to fight him for 50 or 60 rounds, but I could not prevail against him. Turned to camp defeated. Thus father sent the Demon King Melahabi and your people to come here for help." Man, for once a guy who didn't lie. Bodhisattva bowed her head and pondered. "We now tell you about the Jade Emperor, who opened the memorial and found a message asking for assistance." "This is rather absurd," he said, laughing. "Is this monkey monster such a wizard that not 100,000 soldiers from heaven can vanquish him? Devaraja Lee is again asking for help. What division of divine warrior can we send to assist him?" Hardly as he finished speaking, Guan folded her hands and said to him, "Your Majesty, let us not your mind be troubled. The Songo cleric would recommend a god who can capture the monkey." "Which one would you recommend?" said the Jade Emperor. "Your Majesty's nephew." "Or your Majesty's nephew," said the Bodhisattva, "the immortal master of illusionary secretary Irang, who is living at the mouth of the river Libatan, and the Guan prefecture, enjoying the incense and obligated offerings to him from the region below. In former days, he himself slew 6 monsters. Under his command are the brothers of Plum Mountain, and 1,200 plant-headed deities,
all possessing great magic powers. However, you will agree only to special assignments, not obey any general summons. Your Majesty may want to send an edict transferring its troops to the scene of the battle, requesting its assistance. Our monster will surely be captured.
The Jade Emperor heard this. He immediately issued such an edict and ordered the Demon King Malahabi to present it. Having received the edict, the Demon King mounted a cloud and went straight to the mouth of the river Lebanon. It took him less than half an hour to reach the temple of the Immortal Master. Immediately, the demon magistrate guarding the doors made this report inside.
There's a messenger from heaven outside who has arrived with an edict in his hand.
Ere long his brother came out to receive the edict, which was read before burning incense. The edict said, "The great sage equal to heaven, a monstrous monkey for the flower fruit mountain, is in revolt. At the palace he stole peaches, wines, elixir, and disturbed the grand festival of immortal peaches. 100,000 heavenly soldiers with 18 sets of cosmic nets were dispatched to surround the mountain and capture him. The victory has not yet been secured. We therefore make this special request to our worthy nephew and his sworn brothers to go with the Flower Fruit Mountain and assist in destroying this monster. Following your success will be a lofty elevation and abundant reward." In great delight, the immortal master said,
"Let the messenger of heaven go back. I will go once to offer my assistance with drawn sword."
The Demon King went back to report, but we shall speak no further of that. The immortal master called together the 6 brothers of Plum Mountain. There were Kang Zhang, Yao, and Li, the 4 grand marshals, and Gao Shun and Zai Zhen, the 2 generals. They congregated before the court. He said to them,
"The Jade Emperor just now sent us the flower from—"
Oh, wait, hold on, let's try. "The Jade Emperor has just now sent us to the Flower Fruit Mountain to capture a monstrous monkey. Let's get going." Delighted and willing, the brothers at once called out the divine soldiers under their command. With falcons mounted and dogs on leashes, with arrows ready and bows drawn, they left in a violent magic wind, and crossed, just in a moment, the great Eastern Ocean. As they landed on Flower Fruit Mountain, they saw their way blocked by a dense layer of cosmic nets. "Divine commanders, guarding the cosmic nets, hear us!" they shouted. "We are specifically assigned by the Jade Emperor to capture the monstrous monkey. Open the gates of your camp quickly and let us through." Delighted and willing. Oh, wait, no. Hold on. Get a drink of water. Once again, I already read that. The various deities conveyed the message to the inside, level by level. The 4 Devarajas and Devaraja Li then came out to the gate of the camp to receive them. After they exchanged greetings, there were questions about the military situation. The Devaraja gave them a thorough briefing. Now that I, the little sage, have come," said the immortal master, laughing, "we'll have to engage in a contest of transformation with his. He will now engage in a contest of transformations with his adversary. You gentlemen make sure the cosmic nets are tightly drawn on all sides, but leave the top uncovered. Let me try my hand in this contest. If I lose, you gentlemen need not come to my assistance. My own brothers will be there to support me. If I win, you gentlemen will not be needed in tying him up either. My own brothers will take care of that." Bit cocky, but we'll see how that goes. "All I need is a pagoda bearer Devaraja to stand in midair with an imp-reflecting mirror. If the monster should be defeated, I fear he may try to flee to a distant locality. Make sure the image is clearly reflected in the mirror so that we don't lose him." The Devarajas set themselves up in the 4 directions, with the heavenly soldiers all lined up according to their planned formation. With himself as the seventh brother, the immortal master led the 4 grand marshals and the 2 generals out of the camp to provoke a battle. Sorry. I haven't had my energy drink, I just realized. Where the hell was I? Hold on. Let's remedy that. Alright. Now to wash out the saliva. With himself as the seventh brother, the immortal master led the 4 grand marshals and the generals out of the camp to provoke battle. The other warriors were ordered to defend their encampment with vigilance. The plant-headed deities were ordered to have the falcons and dogs ready for battle. The immortal master went to the front of the water-curtained cave, where he saw a troop of monkeys neatly positioned in an array that resembled a coiled dragon. At the center of the array was a banner bearing the words, "The Great Sage, equal to heaven." That audacious monster, said the immortal master. How dare he assume the rank, equal to heaven? There's no time for praise or blame, said the 6 brothers of the Plum Mountain. Let's challenge him at once! When the little monkeys in front of the camp saw the immortal masters, they ran quickly to make their report. Seizing his golden hoop rod, straightened out his gold cuirasses, slipping on his cloud-treading shoes, and pressing down his red gold cap, the Monkey King leapt out of the camp. He opened his eyes wide to stare at the immortal master, whose features were remarkably refined, whose attire was most elegant. Truly he was a man of features most comely and most noble mien, with soldiers shoulder-reaching ears and shining eyes. His head wore the three mountains phoenix cap. His body donned a pale yellow goose-down robe. Gold thread boots matched coiling dragon socks. 8 flower-like emblems his jade belt adorned. From his waist hung the crescent pellet bow. His hands held a lance of 3 points and 2 blades. Once he cleaved Peach Mountain to save his mother. His one pellet struck a tall tree's 2 phoenixes, slaying 8 fiends flung for his fame. A bound brother midst Plum Mountain's 7 saints, his lofty mind scored with high heaven's kin. His pride led him to dwell near the Levitation Springs. From Chi City, or from Chi City, here's the kind of heroic sage of boundless empathies. His name, Erlong, or Erlang. The great sage saw him. He lifted his golden hooped rod with gales of laughter and called out, "What little warrior are you, and where'd you come from, that you dare present yourself here to provoke battle?" "You must have eyes but no pupils," shouted the immortal master. "If you don't recognize me, I am the maternal nephew of the Jade Emperor, Erlang, a king of illustrious grace and spirit from the imperial appointment. I have received my orders from above to arrest you, the rebellious BM1 ape. Don't you know that your time has come?" "I remember," said the great sage, "that the sister of the Jade Emperor, some years ago, became enamored of the region below. She married a man by the name of Yang, and had a son by him. Are you that boy who's reputed to have cleaved open the Peach Mountain with his axe? I'd like to rebuke you roundly, but I have no grudge against you. I can hit you with this rod of mine too, but I'd like to spare your life. Little boy like you, why don't you hurry back and ask for the 4 great Devarajas to come out? The immortal master—" Or when the immortal master heard this, he grew very angry and shouted, "Reckless ape! Don't you dare be so insolent! Take a sample of my blade!" Swerving to dodge the blow, the great sage quickly raised his golden hoop rod to engage his opponent. What a fine fight there was between the two of them. Erlang, god of illustrious kindness, and the great sage equal to heaven. The one, hearty and proud, defied the handsome monkey king. That one, not knowing his man, would crush all stalwart foes. Suddenly these two met, and both desired a match. They had never known which was the better man. Today they'd learn who's strong and who's weak. The iron rods seemed like a flying dragon, and the lance divine of dancing phoenix. Left and right they struck, attacking both front and back. The Plum Mountain 6 brothers' awesome presence filled one side, while the 4 generals, like Ma and Leo, took command on the other. All worked as one to wave flags and roll drums. All helped the fight by cheering while beating the gong. 2 sharp weapons sought a chance to hurt. A thrust and parries did not slack one whit. The golden hoop rod, wonder of the sea, could chance and fly to snare a victory. A little lag and your life is over. A tiny error and your luck runs out. The immortal master fought the great sage for more than 300 rounds, but the result could not be determined. The immortal master therefore summoned all his magical powers. The shake he made his body 100,000 feet tall, holding with both hands a divine lance of 3 points and 2 blades. Like the peaks that cap the Hua Mountain, this green-faced saber-toothed figure with scarlet hair aimed a violent blow at the head of the great sage. So we're just doing, once again, a really anime thing right now. But the great sage also exerted his magical powers and changed himself to figures of having features and height of ear long. He wielded a complement and gold hoop rod that resembled the heaven-supporting pillar on top of Mount Kulan to oppose the god Erlong. This vision so terrified the marshals Ma and Leo that they could no longer wave the flag, and so appalled the generals Bing and Ba that they could use neither scimitar nor sword. On the side of Erlang, it's Erlang. Why am I saying Erlang? Erlang and the brothers Kang, Zhang, and Yao, Li, Gao, Shun, and Zhang, or Zhang? It's ZIH space JIAN. Not that I'm not butchering these other ones, anyways. Gave the order to the planted deities to let loose the falcons and dogs to advance upon the monkeys in front of the water curtain cave with mounted arrows, drawn bows. The charge, alas! Dispersely, the four mighty commanders of the monkey imps, and captured 2,000 or 3,000 numerous fiends. Those monkeys dropped their spears and abandoned their armor, forsook their swords and threw away their lances. They scattered in all directions, running, screaming, scuttling up the mountain, or scrambling back into the caves. It was as if a cat at night had stolen upon resting birds. They darted up as stars to fill the skies. The brothers thus gained a complete victory, of which we shall speak no further. Now we're telling you about the immortal master and the great sage, who had changed himself in the form which imitated heaven and earth. As they were doing battle, the great sage suddenly perceived that the monkeys of his camp were put to rout, and his heart grew faint. Changed out of his magic form, turned around and fled, dragging his rod behind him. The immortal master saw he was running away. He chased him with great strides, saying, "Where are you going? Surrender now, and your life will be spared." The great sage did not stop to fight anyone, but ran as fast as he could. Near the cave's entrance, he ran right into Kang, Zhang, Yao, and Li, the four grand marshals, Gao Shun and Zai the two generals, who were at the head of the army blocking his way. "Lawless ape!" they cried. "Where do you think you're going?" Curving all around, the great sage squeezed his golden hoop rod back into an embroidery needle and hid it in his ear. Shaving his body, he changed himself to a small sparrow and flew to perch on top of a tree. In great agitation, the six brothers searched all around but could not find him. "We've lost track of the monkey monster! We've lost track of the monkey monster!" they all cried. They were making all that clamor. The immortal master arrived and asked, "Brothers, did you lose him in the chase?" "We just had him boxed in here," said the god, "but he simply vanished." And in the place with his phoenix eyes wide open, Erlang at once discovered the great sage is chained to a small arrow perched on a tree. Changed out of his magic form, took out his pellet bow. Shaped his body, changed to a sparrow hawk with outstretched wings, ready to attack its prey. The great sage saw this. He darted with a flutter of his wings, changing himself into a cramoran, the head straight for the open skies. Erlang saw this. He shook his feathers and changed to a huge ocean crane, penetrate the clouds to strike with its bill. The great sage therefore lowered his direction, changed into a small fish, and drove into the stream with a splash. Erlang rushed into the edge of the water, but could not see no trace of him. Thought to himself, the simian must have gone to the water, changed to a fish, a shrimp, or the like. I'll change again to catch him. He duly changed to a fishhawk, and skimmed the downward streams over the waves. After a while, the fish into which the great sage had changed was swimming along with the current. Suddenly he saw a bird that looked like a great kite, though its feathers were not entirely green, like an arrogant, though it had small feathers, like an old crane, though its feet were not red. "That must be the transformer Lang waiting for me," thought to himself. Swiftly turned around and swam away after releasing a few bubbles. Where Erling saw this, he said, "The fish that released the bubbles looks like a carp, though its tail is not red, like a perch though there's no pattern on its scales, like a snake fish, this though no star on its head, like a beam through its gills has no bristles. Why does it move away the moment it sees me? Must be the transformed monkey himself." Man, it'd be really embarrassing if it was just a fish who saw a predator. Oh god, I might be stupid. He swooped towards the fish and snapped at it with his beak. The great sage shot out of the water, changed at once to a water snake, and swam towards the shore, wriggling in the grass along the bank. When Erlang saw this, he snapped in a vein, and that the saw that he had snapped in vain, and that a snake had darted away in the water with a splash. He knew the great sage had changed again. Turning around quickly, he changed to a scarlet-topped gray crane, in which extended its beak like a sharp sharp iron pincer to devour the snake. With a bounce, the snake changed again to a spotted buzzard, standing by itself rather stupidly amidst the water pepper or along the bank. When Erlang saw the monkey had changed to some vulgar creature, for the spotted buzzard is the basest and most promiscuous of birds, mating indiscriminately with phoenixes, hawks, and crows. The Monkey King transformed to the bird equivalent of a fuckboy. He refused to approach him. Changing back to his true form, he went and stretched his bow to the fullest. One pelt he sent the bird hurtling. The great sage took advantage of this opportunity nonetheless. Rolling down the mountain slope, he squatted there to change again, this time to a little temple for the local spirit. His wide open mouth became the entrance, his teeth the doors, his tongue the Bodhisattva, his eyes the window. Only his tail he found to be troublesome, so he stuck it in the back and changed it to a flagpole. The immortal master chased him down the slope. Instead of the buzzard he had hit, he found only a little temple. He opened the phoenix eye quickly and looked at it carefully. Seeing the flagpole behind it, he laughed and said, "It's the ape! It's the ape! Now he's trying to see me again. I've seen plenty of temples before, but never one with the flagpole behind it. Must be another of the animal's tricks. Why should I let him lure me inside where he could bite me once I've entered? First I'll smash the windows with my fist. I'll kick down the doors." The great sage heard this, and in dismay, "How vicious! The doors are my teeth, and the windows my eyes. What am I going to do with my eyes smashed and my teeth knocked out?" Leaping up like a tiger, he disappeared again in the air. The immortal master was looking all around for him when the 4 grand marshals and the 2 generals arrived. "Elder brother," they said, "have you caught the great sage?" "A moment ago," said the immortal master, laughing. "The monkey changed to a temple to trick me. About to smash the windows, kick down the door when he vanished out of sight with a leap. It's all very strange, very strange." The brothers astonished. They could find no trace of him in any direction. "Brothers," said the immortal master, "keep a lookout down here. Let me go up there to find him." He swiftly mounted the cloud and rose up into the sky, where he saw Devaraja Lee holding high the imp-reflecting mirror, standing on top of the clouds with Nata. "Devaraja," said the immortal master, "have you seen the Monkey King?" "He has not come up here," said the Devaraja. "I have been watching him in the mirror." After telling them about the duel in magic and transformations and the captivity of the rest of the monkeys, the immortal master said, "Finally transformed to a temple, just about to attack him, he got away." Devaraja Lee heard these words. He turned the imp-reflecting mirror all the way around once more and looked into it. "Immortal master!" he said, roaring with laughter. Go quickly! That monkey used his magic body in concealment to escape from the court, and he's now headed for the mouth of your river Libranian. We now tell you about the great sage who arrived at the mouth of river Libranian. The shape of his body changed into the form of the Holy Father Erlang. Lowering the direction of his cloud, he went straight to the temple. The demon magistrates could not tell that he was not the real Erlang. Every one of them, in fact, kowtowed to receive him. He sat down in the middle and began to examine the various offerings. The 3 kinds of sacrificial meat brought by Li Hu, the vulturous offerings of Zhang Long, and the petition for a son of Zhao Jing, and the request for healing by Qin Ming. He was looking at these. Someone made the report, "Another Holy Father has arrived!" The various demon magistrates went quickly to look, and were terror-stricken. One and all, the immortal master asked, "Did a so-called great sage equal to heaven come here?" "We haven't seen any great sage," said the demon magistrate.
Another Holy Father is in there examining the offerings. The immortal master crashed through the door. Seeing him, Great Sage revealed his true form and said, "There's no need for the little boy to strive any more. Son is now the name of this temple." Bit, bit of jumping the gun, but alright. The immortal master lifted his divine lance of 3 points and 2 blades and struck, but Monkey King with his agile body was quick to move out of the way. He whipped out the embroidery needle of his, and with one wave, caused it to take on the thickness of a rice bowl. Rushing forward, he engaged Erlang face to face. Starting at the door of the temple, the two combatants fought all the way back to Flower Fruit Mountain, treading upon clouds and mist, shouting insults at each other. The 4 Devarajas and their followers were so startled by their appearance they stood guard with even greater vigilance, while the Grand Marshals joined in the immortal masters to surround the handsome Monkey King. But we shall speak of them no more. Yeah, there were bitches, they didn't matter. We shall tell you instead of the Demon King Malahabi, who, having requested the immortal master and his 6 brothers to lead the troops to subdue the monsters, returned to the region above to make his report. Conversing with the Bodhisattva Guanyin, and the Queen Mother, and the various divine emperors, and the whole of divine mist, the Jade Emperor said, "If your Lang has already gone to battle, why has no report come back today?" Holding her head, Guanyin said, "Permit this humble cleric to invite your majesty and the patriarch of Tao come outside of the South Heaven Gate, so that you may find out personally how things are faring."
"That's a good suggestion," said the Jade Emperor. He at once sent for his imperial carriage, and went with the Patriarch Guanyin, the Queen Mother, and the various divine officials to the South Heaven Gate, where the courtiers were met by celestial soldiers and guardians. They opened the gate and peered into the distance. There they saw the cosmic nets on every side, manned by celestial soldiers. Devaraja Lee and Nata in the midair holding high the imp reflecting mirror, and the immortal master and his brothers encircling the great sage, and in the middle and fighting fiercely. Bodhisattva opened her mouth and addressed Lazai.
"What do you think, Violon? Whom this humble cleric recommended? He is certainly powerful enough to have the great state surrounded, if not yet captured. I shall now help him achieve his victory, make certain that the enemy will be taken prisoner."
"What weapon will the Bodhisattva use?" asked Lazai.
"And how will you assist him?" "I shall throw down my immaculate vase that I use for holding my willow spring,"
said the Bodhisattva.
"When it hits that monkey, at least it will knock him over, even if it doesn't kill him. Erlang, the little sage, will then be able to capture him."
"That vase of yours," said Lazai, "is made of porcelain. It's all right if it hits him on the head, but if it crashes in the iron rod instead, won't it be shattered? You had better not raise your hands. Let me help him win." Bodhisattva said,
"Do you have any weapon?"
"I do indeed," said Lazai. He rolled up his sleeve, looked down for the left arm and armlets, saying, "This weapon's made of red steel, brought into existence during my preparation of elixir, finally charged with thermokinetic forces. It can make it transform at will, indestructible by fire or water. It can trap many things. Called the Diamond Cutter, the Diamond Snare. The year where I crossed the Hanwun Pass, I depended on it a great deal for the conversion of the barbarians, for it was practically my bodyguard night and day. Let me throw it down and hit him." After saying this, Lao Zai hurled the snare down from the heaven's gate, went tumbling down to the battlefield of the Flower Fruit Mountain, and landed smack on the Monkey King's head. Monkey King was engaged in a bigger struggle with the 7 sages, completely unaware of this weapon, which had dropped from the sky and hit him on the crown of his head. No longer able to stand on his feet, he toppled over, managed to scramble up again, and was about to flee when the Holy Father Erlang's small hound dashed forward and bit him in the calf. Pulled down by the 2nd time, lay on the ground cursing. "You brute! Why don't you go into your master inn instead of coming to bite old monkey?" Rolling over quickly, he tried to get up, but the 7 sages all pounced on him, pinned him down, bounded him with rope, and punctured his breastbone with a knife so that he could transform no longer. That how that works? Now Osiris received his diamond snare and requested the Jade Emperor to return to the Hall of the Divine Mist with Granyan and the Queen Mother, or Granyan, the Queen Mother, and the rest of the immortals. Now below, the four great Deva Kings and Devaraja Li all retired their troops, broke camp, and went forward to congratulate Erlang, saying, "This is indeed a magnificent accomplishment by the little sage. This is This has been a great blessing of the heavenly devas," said the little sage. "The proper exercise of the divine authority. What have I accomplished?" The brothers Kang, Zhang, Yao, and Li said, "Elder brother need have no further discussion. Let us take this fellow up to the Jade Emperor and see what will be done with him." "Worthy brothers," said the immortal master, "you may not have a personal audience with the Jade Emperor because you have not received any divine appointment. Let the celestial guardians take him into custody. I shall go with the Devaraja to the region above to make a report. All of you make a thorough search of the mountain here. After you have cleansed it out, go back to the river Lebanon. When I have our deeds recorded and receive our rewards, I shall return to celebrate with you." The four guards and marshals The four grand marshals and the two generals followed his bidding. The immortal master then mounted the cloud with the rest of the deities. They began their triumphal journey back to heaven, singing songs of victory all the way. In a little while they reached the outer court, the hall of perfect light, and heavenly preceptor, preceptor? I'll go with preceptor, went forward to memorialize to the throne, saying the four great Devarajas have captured the monstrous monkey, the great sage eagle of heaven. They await your command, your majesty. Oh, that was someone talking. Also, the four great Devarajas didn't do jack. The Jade Emperor then gave the order that the Demon King Malahabi and the Celestial Guardians take prisoner to the monster execution block, where was to be cut to small pieces. Alas, this is what happens to them. Fraud and impudence now punished by law. Heroic grands will fade in the briefest of time. None know what will become of the Monkey King. Let's listen to the explanation in the next chapter. Alright. I should probably stop there. It's another 2 chapters. If I overextend, be here longer than I intend. Do, do, do. So, in that case, let's see. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Says I've been live an hour here, but an hour 47 here. So yeah, the first VOD is going to be about 40-ish minutes. That's not the exact numbers because there's minutes on the hour, but y'all know what I mean. Let's see here. Who should we raid? Getting a raid in would be pretty cool. Do, 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 do.
How about... Hmm. You know what? Let's raise Andrea. She's doing just chatting right now. So let's go ahead and do that. So I guess in that case, I'd like to wish you all a fond farewell and thank you for stopping by. If you like this, of course, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing because it really helps me out. Next time we read this book, we'll be picking up back at chapter 7, as we finish chapter 5 and 6 today. However, next stream is probably going to be more Fate because I'm gonna try to do the grinding I need to continue the story of the event. Excuse me, and then we'll be able to finish it. Oh, we'll be able to finish the event story within a reasonable time frame, maybe, because I know there's like the scrap paper thing that might be a bit complex, but we also might be able to do that on stream. It all just depends. But that will all be worried about next time. So I hope you all have a pleasant day. And until next time, fare thee well. Bye.